Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Ultimate Apocalypse casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 2 vs 2 on Volcanic Reaction. Playing on Team 2 as the Tyranids, we've got Reaper God 36. We've got Eshan playing as the Space Marines. On Team 1 playing as the Chaos Space Marines, we've got Catgirl. And we've got Topper playing as the Eldar. So I do quite like this map. It's a nice long, craggly kind of thing with lots of light cover and heavy cover. The heavy cover being the darker variants of the light cover. Which is quite helpfully, it's actually a lighter shade, so marvellous stuff for my memory. And everyone's in the prime positions of spawning, really. Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines on the front lines, being able to use their heavy infantry to go tit for tat. Whereas the Eldar, I think that if they're on the front lines, they've struggled quite a lot. I mean, what the mainstay of their damage comes from things like Dark Reapers, and maybe not so much in Ultimate Apocalypse. They can get their Storm Guardians on the go, maybe their Dire Avengers as well. They don't really want to be hustling and tussling with other heavy infantry in light and heavy cover. And the Tyranids, you might think actually that these guys would prefer to be on the front lines, but when you think about it, they could just sit back and build up a million reclamation pools to expand their economy all throughout if the Space Marines can hold the front line, and then we'll get the big bad stuff out later on in the game. We have Reaper God 36 playing as Tyranids. We've seen him many times in the channel before. He knows this race like the back of his hand. Same as Topper, really. But I think I've only ever actually seen him play Eldar. Same with Reaper, although maybe not. Maybe I'm misremembering things. But I have casted about 100 plus Ultimate Apocalypse games by now. The Catgirl, well, we saw her last game. She's given up on Tau. She said, you know what? This weave nonsense, not doing it for me anymore. Like all weaves, the first thing they do when they put down the anime is that they turn towards chaos, which makes sense, really. So thematic and lore accurate, some would say. Got the Assault Marines coming straight on over, engaging close combat with those Chaos Space Marines, but then deciding to go up against the Chaos Attack Bank. Questionable choice, but then again, even though it is a vehicle, it does fall down relatively quickly when it's been punched. Got the Eldar and the Cultists chilling out over here, thinking about capturing some stuff. And also some jetbikes as well, so some early vehicular aggression from Team 1. Don't think the Assault Marines will be feeling all that keen on going up against them. Definitely a damn fine choice to go for when the opponent has gone for a mass of... Well, I say a mass, three. There's 3 of them. What's the difference between a small group and a mass? That's my question of the day. Is there a scientific response to that? I don't think so. But I assume there is. I assume there's some scientists who watch this YouTube channel. I'm fairly certain that my audience is full of doctors, engineers and scientists, as is the way forward. Maybe a couple of computer engineers as well. Yep, listening post been upgraded on the inside. I will leave this one now it's a little bit vulnerable, but it does reduce the risk of losing upgraded stuff. Oh no, you've upgraded it now, fair enough. Which will help you massively, taking down the Chaos Assault Bike while the Assault Marines focus their fury upon the Chaos Space Marine Tactical Marines. One scout has gone down, but that's not going to rustle his jimmies too much. Jetbike's just trying to get involved with decapping and the like. Got some Tyranids been spawned right on top of these guys. These are some Hormagaunts. Nice touch. As the Eldar jetbikes probably aren't as tanky as the Chaos Space Marine attack bike. They are a lot more nimble, so they should be able to avoid the close combat damage of the Hormagaunts if the micro is all there. Something is now falling back as we do have a bit of argy-bargy going on this side already. Plenty of action going on in the opening couple of minutes and salvos of this game. Spine Gaunts do very little damage. I say that, no. I think in this patch of Ultimate Apocalypse they've started to do a little bit more damage. Or maybe I'm getting them confused with Unification. Definitely not Soulstorm. There's no Tyranids in Soulstorm. Believe it or not, boys and girls. As much as the Kez 1998, God imagine being that young, would have you believe. Yeah, Cultists and Spine Gaunts going toe-to-toe. As we do have a cheeky little jet bike inside the Tyranid base. I do believe that this will be an absolute prime idea for the Eldar, at the very least. Go and just try and keep these reclamation pools to a minimum. See it so many times against Tyranids, especially in these big games when they're behind a friendly faction. They tend to forget about them, and they can just mass and mass, which is not what you want in any amount, really. Once they hit that critical mass of biomass, then it's a sad time for everyone on the opposing team. Cult has been reduced to floor lasagna. Also, the Eldar Guardians, well, not faring all that well against the scything talons of the Hormagaunts. Although we are seeing people going for decaps on relics and all that stuff. Yes, so it seems like that this side has been taken over by Team 1. The other side has been taken over by Team 2, or at least they're very well trying. Of course, been thrown in the air, landing in a most unceremonious manner. This dude narrowly surviving the fall, but then before dying to some, I'm not sure what hit him, but something probably hit him on account of him dying. Last cultist. Oh no, not last cultist, there's two of them. Oh, there we go, they've got a friend. I like that, that's good. They should probably really move away from the really angry Space Marines with jetpacks. Now if their number, although they're not designed to break through buildings, certainly enough of them to be able to do so. Over here, some Hormagaunts are attempting to boosh through the Storm Guardians and the Cultists. Nice choice of the Flamers, in fact going for 3 Flamers in their squad in total. Also got a Reaper Swarm being teleported in. As far as builders go, they're not terrible at providing some close combat support against lightly armoured infantry. Also now got the Slag Deposit being claimed by Topper. So Team 2, your Team 2, no, your Team 1, definitely making their presence felt. Current economies, let's have a look from the perspective of Tyranids. 122 and 60, 106 and 59, compared to 126 and 49, and 127 and 93. From the Space Marine perspective, just because we've got voices, now we can see it from the other teams. It's also helped me confuse me by looking at the colours, with them being all switched around. But, you know, that's what keeps the map awareness good. We saw the game yesterday. I had to bring out the blooming poor map awareness cam, which is the first time I've done that in probably about a year. And not because, you know, I've been really good at the map awareness, just because I normally can't be bothered to do so. You know what? Thought I'd give it a little treat. Working from home last night, or yesterday. Well, yesterday from this game, today from when I'm recording. It's a little bit more time than normal. It's a very rare treat. I don't normally get to work from home. By the way, what was I talking about? What's going on? We've got these Eldar still flamers knocking around. Not many of them. And the submarines have managed to take down these bits and bobs, which is very good for them. Donating that point to the Tyranids. Yeah, I think the Space Marines here are just trying to get the tyrannic economy as booming as humanly possible. Just constant defense with the submarines, which is not what you normally see. On a map like this with lots of jumpy bits, it's not a terrible idea. Now we've got to devastate Marines, and once we see these wave serpents, I imagine we'll want to start seeing. There we go. Got a melter gun on there. Only got 1 in their ranks at the moment, but don't really need that much in the way of firepower to take down an Eldar vehicle. Not the tankiest of tanks who ever done did tanked. The Shining Spears, which will certainly need to be taken down as well. Tyranids seem to be stabilising on their side of the pitch. Sporeman, sorry, not pitch. It's a battlefield. Been playing too much Blood Bowl recently. Which, by the by, if you really want to see some spectacular halfling plays on the most recent season of Blood Bowl 3, did a video for that on Sunday. You won't be disappointed. Truly, the games of the century. It's back to back for you as well. So if one's not enough, if one doesn't tickle your pickle, there's double for you. Some Servitors being backed into a corner, but just constant Hormagaunts from Reaper God 36 also having them munch down on some stuff, so extra health for them. The Shining Spears, yeah, I don't think it's enough firepower to really take down all these buildings for the Tyranids. Now gone for a second half spire for extra reclamation pools, building them around the spore chimneys as well for additional requisition incoming, or income. Grenade going off right in the middle of those Hormagaunts. Definitely AoE damage is the way forward against the Tyranids, who seem to have gone for the majority little ones here. Quite often you'll see... to be fair, I don't... Memory doesn't serve me here, but I can't remember if Reaper God favours the little ones or the big ones. I suppose it depends on the context, really. I suppose, yeah, the Tyranid Warriors are quite expensive, so if you can hold the line with the little lads, then that'll save him the big guns in the future. Devastating Marines coming in for support. Yeah, the Hormagaunts aren't exactly going to be turning their way for the thermoplasma generator anytime soon. Missiles now coming from these Corsairs. 4 missile lads beside them. Another 4 in the other squad, so 8 in total. One of these Devastating Marines that they're on the front lines and they can't really avoid the damage, not like the Assault Marines can. Well, they're coming back on Earth and see what they can do. Shining Spears still knocking around, but we do have a Lictor Alpha, and a third Hive Spire, so Reaper God definitely putting a lot of investment into his economy, which further solidifies why he's not going for too many big lads. Now got a Chaos Vindicator, again more AoE damage. So Reaper is going to be struggling quite considerably, unless of course these Devastator Marines can get the shots off. Has got a couple of melter guns in there, but still only one apiece. No, you've got two in one squad. So you do have the armory upgrade to get more than just one thing in there. At the beginning of the game in Ultimate Apocalypse, you can only get one weapon upgrade in your tactical or Devastator Marine squad. Also, these lads, have you been joined by a... Can you attach... Hold on. Can you attach the... Oh yeah, you can attach your chaplain to a Assault Marine squad. Fair enough. Okay, alright. Plenty of Tyranids been dropped in from the Hive Mind abilities. Very nice stuff. Even though they've got the superior firepower in theory, can't exactly fire a gun when your face is being chewed off. Yes, Vindicate also will fire in the middle as well, but don't know if friendly fire's on. I'm fairly certain that you can't do friendly fire damage in this game, or maybe I'm getting that confused again with a different mod. I do too many of them, if you ask me. I suppose two. Haven't really done Pro or what is it, not Elite mod, Codex mod for a while. Not a fan of those games though. Do please send some replays in. But I lie, I do have a replay, in fact a couple of replays for Pro mod. I'm just waiting for a day to be able to sit down and read the patch notes so I'm more familiar with the game, as I haven't looked at it for quite some time. Oh well, Plasma Generators, they're dead. Very unfortunate. The Chaos Space Marine player ran the risk of putting them all together to help him reduce... Oh, sorry, not him, sorry, Catgirl. I'm just presuming every player is a man in this game. I'll slap my wrist later. Naughty boy, Mr. Landshark. Assuming people's genders. Core blimey. But yeah, so they're gone, which is unfortunate. But the Tyranid masses are succumbing somewhat, but that's okay because there's plenty more where they came from. And where are the Eldari here? They are sending some... Well, at this point, you get your Vipers in, and there we go. They've got their Shuriken cannons. AoE damage for... specifically, really, for infantry. I mean, they do a lot of damage against heavy infantry as well. Been massively reduced in damage output in this current patch, but I mean, still nothing to turn your nose apart. Space Marines continuing to push on in. It's not looking all that pretty. You can see another Chaos Vindicator from Catgirl here. As the masses continue, they just won't stop. And they're not cheap, these, neither. I mean, how much money do you have, Reaper? Yeah, you've got, like, just, like I said, the economy's popping off. And while these deep-striking Tyranids are not cheap by the slightest, as a manner, you've got more money than King Charles III. You're laughing. Throw Tyranids into the melting pot, as it were. Just sit back and expand at home. Now I've got the Vipers. They're doing Kane's work here. I can see that now slowly but surely, even with throwing down more lads in there, although there's just so many. Thankfully the Space Marines have to fall back. Oh, it's got some Hell Talons in the air as well, so the Homogons won't be doing any damage against them. Another Vindicator. And there we are, now seeing the transition into the Warriors. And who are you? You are cultists, I do believe. Get no cultists, no vision. The Tyranids will make them fall foul a bit. Also got plenty of plasma guns on them, so the Devastator Marines will certainly be feeling the pain right there. Lictor Alpha manoeuvring around in the blooming not shrubbery, in the rubble and whatnot. I've got some aircraft battles. Landspeeder Tempest going up against Hell Talon. And you've gone for frag grenades. He's shine on this, but somehow managing to take him on, so not bad. Although, mind you, you've probably got assistance from the Devastators. Well, my headcanon is that the Landspeeder Tempest won that one. Landspeeder Tempest, that could. Now got a fleet of Vipers flying on in. And that's going to be quite a serious amount of firepower coming in, although one shot, one kill. Although, mind you, that Viper was not the healthiest of Vipers, in all fairness. Got Servitors just charging in. Don't know what they're planning to do. They've got no combat prowess. But they do look like crabs. 4 arms, so maybe that just unhinges the Eldari somewhat. Can't be a pleasant thing to look at. And just double checking, making sure that map awareness is good. Everything's fine, although we do have the assault marines. Not decapping, but they are looking at the relic quite intensively. The state marines now got no choice but to run away. And jumping inside the stronghold. I mean, that was a Eldar kind of animation when they jumped in there. Does that mean you're inside the... Yeah, you're right, okay, no, never mind, mate. For a second I thought, I was like, oh yeah, there's some sort of warp gate that is on their side. But no, the Eldar on the other team. Well, it's easy to confuse me, to be fair. Not the smartest man in the world. They say I'm a picnic short of a picnic. We're going to see some Vanguard veterans. So transitioning towards more elite heavy infantry. You're seeing quite a lot these days. Chaos Space Marines and regular old vanilla Loyalist Space Marines focusing a lot more on their heavy infantry. Are quite strong in this patch. And for good reason. Definitely prefer them this way, to be fair. I know I've said it previously. In fact, I've probably said it several times in the last game from last Wednesday, or whatever day it was uploaded. But yeah, just like the idea of souped up transhuman men charging on in. Power swords in hand. Glorious stuff. Cultist, all the morale's been broken. No choice but to run away. Now got a serious amount of Tyranid warriors making their way forward, going for plenty of devours. And look at the research time on them. Definitely allows them to be very flexible. If they come across a unit that they can't quite take on, then, well, it takes only maybe 10 seconds to fully equip them. All sorts of stuff. Here comes a... Has the chaplain now got... Oh, you've now got a jump pack. Did you have a jump pack earlier? Is that why you could join them? Maybe, maybe. Hard to see. Again, I'm going to pull out the Old Man Has Bad Eyes card. It's a card that I'm going to pull out for the rest of my life. Unless, of course, someone like Mr. Beast decides to fund my eye care like he did with those other guys. I suppose you can't really, you know, with all that drama going on, you can't really rely on him to fix my poor peepers. God, couldn't he have been, you know, accused of bad stuff after fixing my eyes? I don't know. Ain't no rest for the wicked. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the Hormagaunts, certainly not a broken strategy. Just throw them in. And where are the warriors going? You're going to go around the... Oh, you're going to go for the old maneuver around the backside. Maybe attack the Eldar base while all these little uns are just crawling over Catgale's base. She's not a fan of it, believe it or not. Definitely not vibing with what's going on. And this is the second serious assault on the Chaos Space Marines base. Not being able to really capitalise on anything at the moment. Warriors came all the way down here. Now the Eldar are struggling somewhat. They've got triple support portals. How much money do you have to combat stuff? Not a huge amount and not a huge amount, but then again, it's not the end of the world. Their economies are stable enough and big enough to be able to repel this, but certainly nowhere near the size of the Tyranids. And how about the Space Marines? How's your... Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the Space Marines, you've been on the front lines. Hard to build up a large economy when you are the one being repeatedly punched in the face. Things exploding left, right and centre. Do have a Seer Council. These guys are quite substantial. Don't die very easily. But mind you, when you're surrounded by Tyranid warriors, but armed with... What are you armed with? Venom cannons and big old stabby bits. Not a bad idea, but now being supported by some Vipers. But all in heavy cover. So they should be able to survive that, at least for a little while longer than normal. Do have Who Are You fighting off in the distance here. Vanguard veterans, just one left over. He's not going to stop fighting. Not sure how he got over there. He got blown up and was thrown aside, thrown asunder. There just seems to be Vipers everywhere, man. Space Marines point blank refusing to back down here. Plenty more plasma generators for them to bash up as well. Oh, this is... I mean, hats off to Catgale for being able to keep her head above water in this situation. It's not a pretty sight. Constantly losing her bits and bobs. There's no Chaos Temple, soon to be no Machine Pit neither. Might have to rebuild stuff inside the base, but the Eldar can't really stick around to provide some support. Needs to come on over and and defend their own half and home. You have a Soul Walker coming up, in fact, triple Soul Walkers by the looks of things. And these guys can go toe-to-toe with a squad of Warriors or two. The Vipers unable to really wrangle them in. Plenty of... Oh, can't get saying a GG here. Not feeling it though. I mean, I'm looking at my timer. There's still plenty of time left. So there must be something else going on here. But we can believe, gosh darn it. I'll always remember time many, many moons ago when I was watching Stranger in a live tournament. Believe it or not, this map has many fond memories for me, as it was the final match of that live tournament so many years ago at this point now. One of the few live tournaments I've actually ever casted, because live tournaments are a pain in the backside. Won't do one again, unless of course it's guaranteed to be really, really well organised. No, just not my vibe. I feel very nervous when doing things live. Can't cut bits out. Oh, well, the Desperate Stronghold is still alive, gosh darn it. Eshan says GG. I mean, I suppose that was in response. He's not giving up, right? But, that being said, Soul Walker's now jumping in. They've defended their base. There's no more Tyranids knocking around. So now they can fully concentrate on coming on over. The Seer Council is somewhere about, I think. Hold on, let me actually click on you. Yep, you're in the mix somewhere. These guys, like I said, don't go down very, very easily. Got a redonkulous amount of health, commander armor as well. Look at all this, you can see all these little blue bits. It's all the AoE damage from these Soul Walkers. And regardless of whether you are light infantry or heavy infantry, those Soul Walkers are going to be taking you down in the ranged department. The Desperate Stronghold has been taken care of. Have you rebuilt it somewhere else? You built it just in the nick of time down here. Bone Singer's coming over to build it up. So yeah, Team 1. Vastly the underdogs in this fight, but you can't kick a good player when they're down. All this means is that basically they've got less area to fight over, and so long as they can deny the resource points here, and the Eldar can get some more souped up units on the battlefield, should be able to hold on. Although whether this is going to be a turnaround or a very slow decay into madness, we'll have to wait and see. Vanguard veterans, don't see them very often, but a damn fine unit, able to equip themselves with storm shields, power fists, lightning claws, and apothecaries. Standard bearers, all the usual gubbins. Stick a couple of apothecaries in there, give them some power fists, and watch them get to fisting. And that's not a pleasant sight. Well, I suppose it depends on whose side you're really on, isn't it? Now I've got the Lictor Alpha coming back for seconds. I don't think he'll be enjoying this engagement as much as he did before. Here's a unit specifically designed to take on commanders, but when there's like 3 commanders on the go, it's more wild to reinforce in comparison to other units. I suppose they are seers after all. Not exactly going to pull them out the back of your pocket, are you? Yeah, Soul Walkers don't have to see these guys in range. Normally see them just walking into things and tying things up, but there we go, Havoc Marines are back. Have you rebuilt your temple or something? Yeah, you built it over here, fair enough. You see rebuild it as all. And what's Tyranid looking like? Yeah, that's just a lot of green, isn't there? A lot of green everywhere. We're now going to go for the Screamer Killers. Also got the Manipulator Hive. So potential. I mean, I've got to respect that there's no Zone Football, which is the go-to strategy in the earlier days of Ultimate Apocalypse. Don't know if that's still the go-to strategy, but definitely a lot more interesting to see a combination of Tyranid Warriors and Little Uns. Here I did the Seer Council on the last model. I want to pull him back. That Lictor Alpha is just not giving him any... Oh, just narrowly survives. Squad wipe there. I don't think he's going to survive Lictor Alpha and Screamer Killer, although being knocked back actually. Now losing the aggro from that Lictor Alpha. Yeah, I think that Screamer Killer actually saved him. Not a bad shot at all. Now we're seeing a Soul Walker being, I don't know, inside of... I mean, who's inside of who really in that situation? I do quite like how they've also got like It's not necessarily like a dreadnought, it's just one dude on top of like a, I don't know, like a Dr. Robotnik-esque kind of robot. Very aesthetically pleasing, if not a little bit silly, if I'll be honest. Why build a stonking robot like that, but then not cover up the dude in the front? I get it for the penitent engine. You know, they're full of like combat stimulants, and the whole point of them is to suffer and die. I mean, look at these Hellfire Dreadnoughts. They've got metal in front of the person driving it. That makes total sense. These dudes just like, no, we want to feel the breeze in our hair. Do you have hair? Hold on. So I've got a very short attention span. I need to know now. Hold still. Hold on, I'll hashtag this. Oh, I'm sorry, this is probably really annoying. You don't have hair. Okay, answer that question. And they're going to go forward. We do have some warriors moving forward. Probably should have really mentioned that a little bit earlier. I was busy checking out the hair of those Death Jesters. We have a heavy support portal. Chaos Templar's gone down. All this nonsense has been infiltrated. Well, I suppose you just need to, in Ultimate Apocalypse, walk your guys nearby and you can see them. Everyone's got keen sight in this game, but this is quite short range. Eldar over here teleporting support platform Uber turrets around. So I suppose that's how they're going to be aggressive, by being a bit defensive. Soul Walkers now coming back on over. Quite mobile are those Soul Walkers, as they are able to jump. AoE damage coming in from the warriors. Doing actually quite a considerable amount of damage to the Soul Walkers, but they have been taken down gradually over time. Now we've got a whole mass of cultists all infiltrated. And the Vanguard veterans unsupported here. We'll probably want to go back home. No point in throwing away your lads. No good reason. Tyranids just, it's going to be scary. They do have a Trigon in the works at the moment, so they're definitely in the tiers where they're able to get some bigger and badder boys out. Havoc Marines trying to focus down the counterfeits. So what were you? You are a... Oh, you're just a support platform. And a Scorpion super heavy tank. So the Eldar managing to match the Tyranids in tech and firepower, although it'll be very hard to keep this super heavy tank away from the Trigon, as even though it's super heavy, still don't want it really to take direct damage. Good lord, these Seer Council people are just refusing to do anything apart from not die. Which I suppose is most things, really. Chaplain still knocking around his powerful Crozier, swiping left and right on these elfy boys and girls. Super heavy tank with that powerful beams of light being thrown in. Also got the shuriken cannon in there as well, just for good measure, so he's able to turn his attention to anything and everything target-wise. That's just double super bright lances, isn't it? Here comes a Trigon snaking its way on over. And that's got to be a particularly scary thing to see. Even the Seer Council's going to struggle to stay alive with that guy knocking on their door. But then again, one dude left. He's not going to give up. He's in constant reinforce mode. Trigon thinks, you know what? No point actually messing with you guys. Leave you for someone else. You're just more or less a distraction. There he is. That's his prime target right there. Now, how quickly can he break it down? Actually, pretty quickly, all things considered. Dragon, I mean, quite a lot of times you'll see super units not wanting to go off on their own unsupported, but Dragon doesn't really mind. He can snake forward, almost like a giant assassin unit, really. It comes in, takes out one target, and then beezes back home. It's got the demon armor, so it's resistant to a lot of incoming firepower. Quite hard to actually focus him down. And he's trying to take down the ironclad dreadnought, but giving the kill to the support platform. Oh no, you're an ally. No, you're not. You weren't meant to be following that guy around. Fair enough. Well, Eldar stake their claim on the right-hand side of the map here. Plenty of turrets on the go for them. I wouldn't normally advise it, but I suppose they are able just to teleport it in. Also moving forth a webway assembly. Which, are you just repositioning your whole base somewhere else? Maybe giving the Space Marines some more room to build, but I don't think it's entirely necessary. Unless he's just planning to expand the area of influence. Hold on a second. Sorry about that, boys and girls. I thought I had a banging on my door. My biggest fears is mid-cast someone just breaking into my house and murdering me. Which I know is a very irrational thought, but you know, it's there. I have a million phobias. Most of them involve people. I wear double Trigons. All we need is just a third one to make it a trio of Trigons, which would be, you know, very comically and aesthetically pleasing. Autark is out. He's a tier 1 hero. Get them in the early, well, tier 0/1 in Ultimate Apocalypse. Quite a flippy dude. Got a melter pistol, or a whatever the Phoenix Lords use. And that'll be taken down at listing post. It does seem that the Team 1 here managing to hold their own. Oh yeah, double Trigon. That is a tall order of business. Scorpion Super Heavy Tank is back on over. And all that firepower managing to get off. That's one Trigon almost down. Is going to slunk away. Oh, he's thinking about slinking away. Probably advise it, to be fair. Because every tank they're not giving up is bobbing and weaving. He's doing a Vin Diesel. He's doing it for the family. Full speed ahead. Some warriors playing defensive. With a Bioacid Hive Nerd. And that's going to be some serious damage incoming. Thankfully, it's got its Warp Shield on, so should be able to resist that incoming damage in a Protoss kind of manner. Dragon over here is on half health now. The assault on the Space Marine base of all things is occurring. Seems like the Space Marines are just kind of stopped, really. They're still building things, but not sure really where all their fighting forces have gone. And they've invested a lot in Dreadnoughts, I think. And they're building a wall. Whether that works, I mean, what was it, a couple of games ago we saw a player try and build a wall to prevent people from coming into their base. I think it was on the Fata Morga game, which doesn't narrow it down really, considering it's one of the most popular maps, but, you know, if you know, you know. If you watched it, you watched it. And if you didn't, well, believe it or not, boys and girls, you didn't. But you can do. Just look for the playlist. It was a Space Marine versus Chaos Space Marine game, I do believe. Definitely fantastic ending to watch. I wear Chaos Disco on the go, which is the most... it's meant to give them vision, but it gives everyone else not vision because you can't bloody see the actual things going on. From a casting perspective, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Trigon and everyone else been chained down and just exploded in a cavalcade of super uber turrets. Not sure where the big super heavy tank's gone. Did get distracted a little bit, I'll be honest there. But if it died, probably did it in great flair and panache. Might have even been on screen. I was just too busy complaining about stuff. Either way, that is a stupid amount of firepower coming in from both sides, really. Now also got the Eldritch Spire, which they can upgrade to have some sort of nuclear detonation kind of thing going on for it. We'll have to teleport it in there, which is a bit of an issue. 200 warriors going for those warrior bioplasmas, which, as we saw before, did a lot of damage to buildings and vehicles. Support platforms are struggling. Tyranids also going down on the left hand side as well. So it seems that it's just basically a Tyranids 1 versus 2 being supported slightly by the Space Marines. What economy have you got at the moment, Space Marines? Not much. Not much at all, but you're contributing where you can. As I always say in these games, it doesn't really matter if you're, you know, being the big bad and pulling off all the plays and doing all that stuff. So long as you're holding your own, that is the main thing. You cover the weak spots of your teammate and let them shine. More supportive role. Now they're spotting the webway assemblies. Going to go for a Seer Council once again. So that squad must have died eventually, but... No. Oh, they're teleporting this in. Where are you teleporting it in? Can we see any green over here? I don't think we can. So where are you moving that? Oh, I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for... Oh, did you just teleport it right there? Ah, there's the explosion. That'll do it. That's one way to kill an army. And several other things aside. Very nice stuff. Also doing minimal damage to the structures around them as well. So, yeah, that's the counter. Yeah, you can come into my side of things, but I'll just explode things. Things don't like being exploded. Dragon politely ignoring this Chaos Lord. Tries to munch through the sacrificial circle. Also got a Chaos Sorcerer going at him with the Las Pistol. Doom being witnessed also chaining him to the ground as well. Although saying blow the Emperor through him, that's reverse heresy, which is not allowed in the Chaos ranks. Mr. Chaos Psyker. Unless he's saying it ironically, in which case ironic heresy or ironic reverse heresy is definitely allowed. What is it, the Emperor's children, when they go to combat, they shout out for the Emperor? Just because it's banter. Well, either way, no more reverse heresy for you, you're dead. The Chaos Lord going to have to try his best. Madness and sadness for himself. We're seeing some things being pinged on the board. I've seen some more super heavy tanks. Yeah, the pings are meant to represent super weapons being made. Ah, there's one over here. Okay. Fair enough. And what is that? What is that sound? You built something big. At least someone built something big. Nope. That's me just being... Is that your voice acting? No. What on earth made that sound? Oh, never mind me. Oh, was it the Wraith Guard? Yes, it's you. For some reason you're stupidly loud. That's okay. Just scare the shit out of me mid cast. That's fine. I don't need to clean my trousers or anything. Or change them at the very least. Good lord, yeah, you're just obnoxiously loud, Ancient Wraith Guard. Well, I get it, you ancient. Old people like to take attention. That's what they do. 200 warriors, they're not taking any prisoners. They're blasting things as and when they fancy. And it seems like Team 1 is once again backed against the wall. With majority Tyranid forces. Now it's got a couple of Vanguard veterans moving down the flanks as well. Got some scouts. Which I assume you are armed with... Yeah, you've got sniper rifles. Tell by your silhouette. Which for some reason I can see that silhouette a lot easier than I can see a fair few other things. Is there any opticians now watching this? Again, the audience is filled with doctors, engineers and scientists. And computer specialists. I wonder if you could explain why. Well, that's all the burn singers going in there, so they've probably got something planned. There's always some sort of missive. You're going to build up a warp gate on both sides so we're able to defend both flanks. Very nice idea. Chaos also going around the sides. Right, I'm going to have to change over to someone else because you're just being too loud. Thank you very much, Ancient Wraith Guard. Shan is saying extra wreck. So I assume actually, could the... Yeah, the Tyranids could probably spare a little bit of money for their Space Marine allies, but then again, I mean, they're going for all their super duper weapons. So yeah, he doesn't have any extra. Although, do you? Could you spare... You know... Please, sir, can I have some more? Spare a crumb for your ally? Not on my watch, does Reaper God say. I need every penny. He's building the big things. The big things don't lie. Thermal plasma generator being sent out. A network of webway gates being built up as well. Making sure that the Eldar have plenty of things to not only teleport these boys around with, also keep them infiltrated and teleport around their huge exploding Eldritch Spires. The wall has not been finished. Mr. Technomancer, or Mr. Techmarine even, finished the wall, although I suppose if you finish the wall, there's nowhere for you to run. The Eldar can just, teleport through it. Yeah, it's like blooming spreading of creep. From the Seer Council now proudly boasting 10 members. Explosions there from the Bio Acid Hive Nerd. Also got a stunning amount of Broodlords. Yeah, not just one Broodlord, no, they've got a whole squadron of them. I think even the Seer Council are going to struggle. We also have these guys, some Space Marines moving down here while that's going on, but I kind of want to see how long the Seer Council can survive. Which is, nope, that's, yeah, they might be quite tanky, but not going to survive that onslaught. There's so many stealth Eldar units. That's a lot of ancient Wraith Guard. It's like the Eldari equivalent of the Wraith Ball, but you know, they can attack over there, and then the moment they see some shenanigans over here, they can just teleport right back on over. Give them the old Wraith Guard special. Look how quickly, man. That was a... And bearing in mind as well, these Space Marines have been not only upgraded health and armor-wise, they've also had apothecaries in them. They normally don't die without a considerable amount of firepower towards them. And, well, that's what we've seen. Redonkulous levels of DPS coming in from those ancient Wraith Guards. And what are they packing? That number right there. That's a big number. Triple digits. I know a lot of units can, you know, hit triple digits. In fact, the Broodlords bringing the same level of punch, but melee combat. Again, the caveat, you can't trust what the numbers say because they change based on armor type, but, you know, the only thing I've got going for me. I mean, one thing that'd be quite useful, actually, is that I don't know if you're able to add more numbers, but maybe if you had, like, one number for base damage, then... Oh, you know what? I'm completely talking about something absolutely random when there's a Tyranid nuke going on. See, I get distracted quite easily. That's just my charm. That's what people find charming about me. Yeah, that was a lot of Eldar nonsense. I've had to go home. I can't imagine they've not just gone back. Yeah, you've all gone into the webway gate. So fair enough. There's plenty more where they came from. Yeah, it'd be nice if we had some sort of... oh, well, let me select a squad that does damage. It's like a number that does... Right, okay, here's the baseline damage. And then here's red numbers for... Here's the baseline damage for vehicles. Green numbers for infantry or heavy infantry or whatever. Maybe not all the armor types, but like the armor types that, you know, they counter or something. Well, that, again, I don't know how that would work in coding. I assume it'd be quite difficult. And you know what? Don't listen to me because, like I said, I'm just a man who points at things on the internet. Says, ooh, look at this. This is pretty cool. So what's the current state of play? We've got the Tyranids that are really holding the line for the, well, the top side. And I've got the Eldar that are holding the main line for the southern side. So really, it's kind of like a 1 versus 1 with friends. Just, you know, poking and prodding here and there. Chaos Space Marines are doing... I mean, let's have a look at... It'd be probably easier. Right, where's the green stuff? So the green stuff is here. Space Marines are on the back lines just regaining all their lost stuff. Got some Assault Terminators, and they are poking and prodding here and there. And then where are the Chaos Space Marines? They're kind of... Yeah, they're just kind of like doing the same, really. I think they've maybe got a little bit more... Yeah, they've got certainly a bit more money on the cards for a considerable amount more money than the Chaos Space Marines. We'll watch from their perspective. There's got plenty of infiltrated lads on their side. I suppose they're able to save a bit more money as they can get cultists with plasma guns, which is probably a lot cheaper than Space Marines trying to build up their Terminators. Also managed to hold on to all their holdings. Oh, I say all their holdings, they've lost one over here, but... And now the Eldar have managed to summon peace. Not familiar, one of the Eldar's super abilities is that they could just decide, you know what, everyone's chilling out now. And it's quite useful for if you want to, you know, just take a breather, maybe build up some more forces. And in fact, actually, that's what the Eldar have done. They've brought peace. And I think that when things are inside the webway gate, they kind of ignore the peace treaty. I think, anyway. Do buildings fall under that peace treaty? I don't know. Either way, some things do, some things don't. That looks at things. And that is certainly one way to, you know, build a webway gate in a position where nobody wants you to. Very nice stuff. Would have probably liked to see them built one over here in the middle of everything. But then again, you do run the risk of a webway gate being destroyed, and then these ancient Wraith Guard having no way of getting back home. And what these guys cost 550 blue and 300 green. If you lose these guys, you effectively lose a significant amount of your economy. So some people might say, oh yeah, these guys are a bit overpowered, but they are overpowered purely because they're stupidly good. Stupidly expensive, sorry. I'm starting to see the zone throps. Also, capillary towers getting spanked. But it's taking quite a while to break them down. They are superstructures. Can't exactly kill them very quickly. It's getting a bit hairy at the moment. I was told this game was about 40 minutes long, but maybe I misread it. And I got the replay is confused. Got capillary towers over here. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, that rhymes. That's fun. What's been deep stricken in? Ah, it's Space Marines, it's Terminators. And that's one good thing about late game Space Marines. They've got plenty of deep striking opportunities. I suppose the Chaos Space Marines have that as well, but I mean the vanilla Space Marines have that kind of built into them. They're able to really make use of it. This Desecrate Stronghold goes down remarkably quickly due to the power hammers of the Space Marines. Well being broken, but quickly regaining it. Just look at that. That's incredible. I mean, and these are heavily fortified structures as well. These guys do not die very quickly at all, but chewing up and spitting them out, also teleporting around. Wonderful little maneuver for the Ancient Wraithguard with this webway network, able to pop on them quite quickly, and all that firepower brings them down, but not after them doing a significant amount of damage to those HQ. Still plenty left over there. Did they get the main HQ there? I do believe so, as none of these have that built add-ons at the bottom of them. Not bad. Here comes a semi-zone threat ball. Try and counter the Wraithguard ball. Now the zone threats, I do believe, have a natural resistance to range damage, especially if you get a Neuron Thrope in there as well. I've also activated this ability that keeps them alive for a limited amount of time on one hit point. Well, that was hard to say. Then they all do a little back. I do love how they do a little backflip before dying. That's very cool. Not sure how lore accurate it is, but backflips are always cool. Tony Hawk taught us that. It'd be wrong to forget those lessons. Good lord, I'm going to have to swap over to... Oh, there's Eldar nonsense. Good job that was flicking through those guys, actually. Yeah, this is a bad time to be a Tyranid. Bad time indeed. Not a pleasant situation. And they've managed to take out quite a lot of the reclamation pools, actually. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. Even if you take out all their requisition and plasma, or should I say power, buildings, they've got plenty to spare. They'll be able to buy things till Kingdom Come. Now, at this point, is the Kingdom coming? I don't think so. The game is far from over. Still plenty of shenanigans to be had on both sides. Chaos Space Marines really settling themselves on the right-hand side of the battlefield. As the Zone Folks just throwing themselves at the Eldar lines, but the combination of the super heavy tank and the Ancient Wraithguard, the artillery, again, once again, this is Mr. Landshark coming to you live, saying, well, not live, but pre-recorded, saying, artillery, my friends, that's the way. If you can't get close to them because you're shooting to bits, then just shoot them to bits before they can get close to you. Only you can prevent forest fires and Ancient Wraithguard balls from appearing. Well, that's not enough about the Ancient Wraithguard and their balls. The reclamation pools are being rebuilt. And we are seeing some more super weapons from the capillary towers, but somehow, someway, through sheer tenacity, the Eldar and Chaos Space Marines clawing it back after what looked like it was going to be a sheer defeat. It's still not over. After all, the Tyranids are still mighty in their economy. We've got quite a small army considering. You can only assume that they're waiting to buy something else quite substantial. I can't think off the top of my head what they would get, apart from just building more units. Zone Fops are keeping those Hell Talons at bay. Chaos Space Marines now supported by the Ancient Wraithguard. Now pressing over onto the right-hand side. Trying to deny as many of these strategic and critical locations as possible. Eshan says his economy is so dead. What's your economy at the moment? Yeah, it's not great, is it? Let's be honest. So we can call it or prolong it. Oh, I like that. Have a glorious last stand. That's what we love to see, really. Well, last stand, as we saw, transitioned into this situation that the Eldar and Chaos Space Marines find themselves in. Slow march forward. Elton's now moving on in. And Catgirl says there's a swarm. Oh dear, where is the Swarm Lord? Now, on the channel, we've... Hold on, let me... Probably best to look at from the... There we are. You are here, right. Now, we have never, ever on the channel seen a Swarm Lord die. We've seen him take on solo entire armies. And if there's one way to break down an ancient Wraithguard ball, it's a mass. Well, it's just not a mass, it's a singular Swarm Lord. His health regen is absolutely incredible. Even though he's taking a considerable amount of damage. Just look at him, it's like anything else would be taken down pretty quickly, but this guy's just going to storm right and forward. He seems to be slowing down a bit there. Not sure what's slowing him down, but I assume it's some Eldar or Wraithguard nonsense. There, well, quick, take him down, gentlemen. Take him down. Can't afford for him to live. He's just, look at him. 53,000 health. Commander armor. Health regen that would make your mother cry. But he's just been stunned into submission. By what the... Like I said, I assume it's the Wraithguard. Someone needs to jump in on top of them. Start tying them up. Here comes zone threats on the right hand side. I suppose while everyone's firing at the Swarm Lord, it does give the rest of these guys a chance to push on in. Now got a nuke coming in on over. And that's going to absolutely force those Wraithguard to push on backwards. I mean, do they stand and try and finish him off? Or do they run the risk of being wiped out by these meteors falling down? Depends how brave they are. They're on fire at the moment, which can't be pleasant for them. We do also have that Scorpion super heavy tank on the other flank. Huge barrage of comets. There's a Swarm Lord now on red health. Pillar Towers being brought forth. Not quite where you wanted them to be. Now stricken down a turret, but yeah, just being really, really hampered by this Wraithguard. Now got Havoc Marines as well. Going to take down the Capillary Towers. Does Tyranids have anything else to throw at the furnace? I suppose you can always just buy another Swarm Lord when he dies, but this is a momentous occasion, boys and girls. Being unable to shred through the Wraithguard fire. More or less stun locked. If anything else, that was just like, I mean, I'm surprised that the Wraithguard actually stuck around there with all that nuclear fire coming on in. Well, not nuclear fire, but the Tyranid equivalent of a nuke. And Ishon says, yeah, it might seem pathetic, but you've got to understand that in every other situation, he just runs on in and kills things, but unable to move. Can't really do that much. What's the options now? Tim's still got plenty of money to play with. It seems that they're not building much. They've got some warriors over yonder. Was that a bit of overconfidence from Reaper God, maybe? He thought, oh yeah, watch this. I've done this a million times before, just send them in. We'll solo them. And then, well, now he's shocked and chagrined. There's nothing else for him. There could be other stuff for him if he wanted to. Ancient Wraithguard just walking on in like they own the place. Fire acid hive nerds unable to really respond to their encroachment. Space Marines trying to rebuild their listening posts while everyone else has been distracted. It's very nice. I like it. Eshon is trying to keep in the game and trying to be as relevant as humanly possible for as long as possible. And that manoeuvre down there with Tyranids, remarkable stuff. More Capillary Towers over here. Yeah, it just seems as if Reaper God's kind of given up in this situation. Which is super duper strange. You've got the money, you can rebuild a whole fighting force if you wanted to. You could build Trigons, you could build Warriors, you could build other bits. I'm now seeing... What were you being teleported in? Oh no, you were just people coming out of the stronghold. Were you? Question mark? Have a way. Oh, no, you were you were burn singers. But I assume... and you put frag... I'd love that. So, I imagine that Reaper God was anticipating that the burn singers would jump in the next time the Eldar used this world peace ability. So he's just covered the area in frag mines to make sure that if the burn singers do jump in to try and build up a web wicket to summon in a lot of people, they would die instantly. So, nice. A nice counter. And Reaper God has said no, and he's left. So, yeah. No, I'm a bit surprised there, actually. Reaper God, I do believe, was the chap who did send in this game to the Discord. So I imagine he would have, held out for a hero. And, I mean, like I say, he's got the money for it. He's got a stupidly large economy. He could just be throwing out little ones all day long, but kind of just, maybe seeing his Swarmlord dying in such a manner, wasn't feeling it anymore. And, yep, Catgirl's right. That was a game indeed. 55 minutes of a game. And, yeah, so, I mean, it speaks for itself, really. Quite a remarkable comeback from the Southern team here. Just utterly outstanding that they, for the gradual breakdown of Catgirl's base, almost actually completely wiping her out. I think at one point she only had the Chaos Temple and the HQ down here to her name. And then just top it, just rising to the challenge, moving those ancient Wraithguard around. And then, yep, Topper also being able to kill that Swarmlord, which in theory, if it was properly supported, I don't think that massive ancient Wraithguard would have been able to take him on. I mean, if there was just even a few Assault Marines or something of the equivalent jumping on in and tying them up, that would have given the Swarmlord a little bit of maneuver to come on in. But hey ho, such is the way of the game. So thank you, boys and girls, for sending this game into the Discord. And if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game a week. And there's also a Discord where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. Thanks for Mr. Landshark. Pleasure's always never short. And I will see you in a bit. Peace.